Okay, so today topic is column level security. So how we can do column level security features in Snowflake? Let's imagine we have a table called employee data, employee ID, employee name, and phone number, date of joining, date of birth, salary, this belongs to which department, and location and designation. Okay, so here ideally the data will be employee ID and name and phone. Okay, so date of birth I'm giving date of joining and date of birth. Okay, so imagine this how the data it was maintained in the organization, and this data should not reveal to everyone. Okay, so these cases we have to restrict in the column level. Okay, so the column level security feature is the person is not authorized person, which means he is not a HR. Then the other people should not appear in the salary. Okay, so this has to be hide. This column will appear, but this data won't appear. Instead of the data, so whichever we are trying to displaying, so here if you want you can add it star star. So like this the data it will appear who doesn't have permissions to view this salary column. Okay, so these symbols it is up to us. So whether you want to keep this symbol or which symbol you want to prefer, you can make it. Okay, so salary column is the very sensitive column, and this column should not display to everyone. Okay, only project managers, delivery head people they can able to view the salaries who are working under him. Okay, but above delivery head people, which means their senior salaries, they are not in a stage to view the data. So that is also the security reasons, right? And the mobile number, and the next one is mobile number. So this complete columns will appear, but whoever having a permissions, they can able to view the complete data. Who doesn't having access, I am displaying, which means who are not authorized. So for them, instead of this value, it will come up with this symbol, star star symbols. Okay, so you may get out. So while sharing the data from one Snowflake account to another Snowflake account, or one Snowflake account to one user, if we hide this column, So hide in the sense, so we have created a view. In that view, we are giving except we are not giving except phone and salary. We give rest of all the columns, so that whoever want to view this data, he can able to view the complete columns data except the phone number and the salary column. So here the drawback here is from the end user perspective. So he may think in the employee table doesn't having phone number and salary columns data. Somewhere it is missed. So that is the reason Snowflake entities the column level security features. So the entire table, we are giving permissions to everyone, but so which columns we want to give permissions, in the column level we are giving restriction, so that whoever is uh, trying to viewing this data in terms of the consumer perspective. So if the consumer is authorized consumer, he can able to view the complete data. If the consumer is not permitted to view phone numbers and the salary column, then for them the complete column will appear as star star star. Okay, so which means so this is how the data it will be displayed. So if the person, the consumer doesn't having permissions for these two columns, then he can able to view it. So here it is really difficult for each and every user giving permissions and granted, and who is permitted to view this data and who are not authorized to view this data. So it is really difficult. So that is the reason it is always a good idea to create one custom role and assign this role to how many people they want. You can assign to a number of users. So we already discussed the day before yesterday class, right? How you can assign single user to multiple users. Okay, so same way here also. Once you assign that role to how many people we want to assign these privileges, so we can assign it, so that whoever part of the role, so whatever the permissions granted to this role, so the same way it will reflect for every users. Okay, so by looking at this data in the terms of consumer perspective, so they can understand, yes, I do not have permissions for phone number and the salary. Okay, so if he really want to view these two columns data also, then he has to communicate with their plant owners or their head of the department people. So once they give granted permissions, that email has to get the approval email to the account admin. So the account admin will give the granted the permissions to the consumer. So this is how it should be. Okay, so here this is a column level security features, right? So we having two types of column level security features. One is this column level security features will start from enterprise edition onwards. Okay, standard edition we do not have these features. Okay, and the next one is the types of editions is one is dynamic data masking and the second one is external tokenization. So dynamic data masking is a column level security features. So this is a dynamic data masking which we have discussed, and external tokenization is basically it will allow the organization to give the tokenization to the person who is going to receive it. So whether he want to loading or unloading, weaving, performing some operations, for that he need tokenization which is generated dynamically. Okay, so these two, and in the dynamic data masking benefits here is the benefits of dynamic data masking is, so we can write a masking policy at once and you can apply thousands and thousands of columns and the database and schemas, and it is easily mask data before sharing. So before sharing the data itself you can mask data easily. So how many columns we supposed to expose to the end user, so those columns we are exempted from the masking policy. So whoever is whatever the columns were exempted, which means those columns can able to view the data. Okay, and it is very flexible by choosing the data in how many columns we supposed to expose to the end users, etc. And it is very easy to change the policies without reapplying thousands and thousands of people. Okay, so once you change the masking policies level, then automatically it will reflect if you apply this rule to 1,000 peoples of users, so accordingly immediately it will get applied. Okay, any questions guys? Okay, so now we will see practically how this dynamic maskings we can apply in a column level securities. So how it will be data look and feel of the data, so that you guys can get a clear picture on that. So I'm switching to account admin. Okay, I have already created users, right? So I'm taking this user, okay, ready 04, and I'm going to the worksheet. So here dynamic data masking. Okay, so first we will create a role. Create role. role is created. This role is and then we grant this role to the user. I'll take the user. I'm granting this role to this user. Okay. Grant role consumer to user character 04. Okay, so then I'm creating a role called masking. I'll make a mask demo role. Okay, so I have created another role called mask underscore demo underscore role. So I'm granting this role to the consumer. Grant role mask demo role to role consumer. Okay, so here what we are doing is, so we have created a role mask demo role. So this role we are assigning to another role consumer. Okay. So now I'm granting a permissions grant usage on database demo DB to consumer. So the entire database I'm giving access to the consumer. Okay. So now I'm creating a masking policy. Masking policy, create or replace masking policy. Masking policy is so which table we are using. So let me get the table. Okay. So I'm taking the same table name. So in this table, so which column level we will apply. So phone number and email, phone number, and the country. So these three columns we will apply it. Masking policy name is mask underscore email. So this is the column I'm considering mask underscore email. So it always return value as a string. Okay. Returns. Okay. So masking policy is created. So now what I'm trying to doing is in this table. So what are the columns level? We are applying a masking policy. Those columns we are trying to creating. So this is the email column. So I'm adding mask underscore email for easy to understand and recognize the column name. Okay. And as this column data, it will come to the variable called val, and the data type is string. Okay. And it is returning to the value string. So it always return masking value when you apply a masking policy on a specific table, and the return value is always string value only. Okay. So now I'll apply phone number. And the next one is country. So according to me, or according to us, these three columns are sensitive data. So that's why we are trying to restricting and applying a masking policy. Creating and applying empty policies, making it easier, because here we are not specifying any policies. Easier to modify later. Okay, so here we are just creating policies. Okay, we are not applying any policies here. So now alter table name is prod underscore employee. So now we are taking the column name and applying modify statement. Column name is email, and set masking policy mask underscore email. So this statement, it means, so in the table prod underscore employee table, we are modifying the column name email and setting to masking policy and mask underscore email. Okay, so this is assigning the policies. Okay, let me re-verify the column names. Email, phone, and country. Okay. And next one is phone, and the next one is country, mask underscore country, and mask underscore phone. Okay, so this is the masking policy we have created here, and we are assigning this masking policy to the table and by specifying the column names. Okay, so now masking policy also set it. So here we have altered the table and we have modified. Now we have to set which type of data it should appear in the columns level. Okay. Okay, which means so these are real policies. Policy implementation. Okay, so now I'm writing a masking policy. And the policy name is email, right? Mask underscore email. Set body. So which means we are setting the value. So who doesn't having this role access? Case when current role consumer. Here we are specifying. So I'm taking sysadmin. These stars will appear whoever having this admin access. Okay. Or I'll make consumer. Consumer is the role, right? And I'm ending with this statement. Okay. So here I'm opening a case, and wherever the current role is, which means whoever is trying to access, and that user having the current role is consumer, then he can able to get the data. Who doesn't having this consumer role, for them they will get star star. Okay. Alter masking policy. Policy name set body. Yes. So this is for one column, which is mask email. So now I'm setting for phone number. And the last one is country column. Now it is setted, and so now we will see it. executing this statement, say this email, phone number, country, it is coming star star because I'm currently in account admin. So my role is account admin. Whoever having this role, consumer role, they can able to view this data. Other people can't be able to view it. Okay. So in case if I use the current role, I'm changing to use role consumer. So if I execute this statement, skill control requested consumer is not assigned to the executed user. Okay, so it's already assigned, I guess. So if I switch to system admin, so for system admin also, I can't able to view the data because this role we do not have it. So I'm changing to account admin. So this is how the data look and feel of the data it will be. So here it is placed with star star, so it will appear. So if you make here as a special symbol something, or you can write a code like no access or access denied. So whichever the thing you want to display in the column level, so you'll get it. So access denied, you'll get it like that. Okay. So now if we log into so this user having consumer role and mask demo role also. Both roles it will come here. So now I'm choosing here customer role. Okay, so warehouse is not selected, so we have to specify the warehouse name. So we have not given any warehouse. This also we have not given any role. So let's try it. Anyway, we can't able to execute. Default ID has to specify it. Okay, let me. Consumer. Okay, so we'll share it then. So this is just for so we'll write here create a role, and if I given to this user, right? So if I give AK ready, so I'll share the data to this user. So then only it will go here. So with the help of share,